Whitmer says there will be no statewide mandate to get the vaccine, but can the company you work for demand that you get the shot? Is it legal for your employer to make you roll up your sleeves? Fox 2's Taryn Asher here now live with the answer. Taryn.
Well, Huel, the short answer is yes, but there are exceptions to the rule. And just like the coronavirus, the labor law attorney we spoke to tonight says we have a lot to sort out.
I've got to say, in 40 years, I've never had a case where somebody has come into my office because they refused to get a vaccine or because an employer had required a vaccine.
But just like everything about the novel coronavirus, employment attorney Deborah Gordon says that is subject to change. As soon as it becomes available to the public, some companies are looking for ways to distribute the COVID-19 vaccine to their employees. Other businesses hoping to require their workforce to get it. What would you do?
I would say I'm not taking it, and if you fire me, fire me.
I understand both sides of it, but if it was me and I owned a business, I would rather work in the interest of all my employees and their safety and protecting them.
I think that everybody should have a choice. I don't think they should be forced to get the vaccine. I believe they should have a choice because it's their body.
I don't think employers should be forcing people to take the vaccine, but I think that because of the state that our nation is in with the coronavirus, I think people should just be willing to take the vaccine anyways.
But can any employer legally mandate a vaccination?
The big picture answer is, under many, many circumstances, your employer will be able to require you to get a vaccination.
Gordon says there is no hard and fast law about the COVID vaccine, but like other immunizations, the Equal Employment Opportunities Commission has already weighed in on approving mandates at workplaces where patients, clients, or customers are at high risk. But there are exceptions when it comes to religious beliefs, people with disabilities, and underlying conditions.
I think we're going to get into more of a gray area even than this when we're talking about the government. Right now, I'm talking about a private company. I run a company. I want to be sure everybody's protected, the public's protected. I don't want to be sued. I'm going to mandate vaccines. But when the government starts mandating things, it's a little bit different because you do have some constitutional rights.
Gordon tells us many of her cases focus on protecting the worker who may feel their work conditions are unsafe. She says it will be hard to argue a case when the employer is trying to protect their workers and those they come in contact with, especially as these businesses try to reopen during the pandemic.
We already know people are balking at getting vaccinated. They don't trust it. We hear that. So it's going to be a problem. But you know what? If you want to work and your employer has a responsibility to others, you're going to have to confront the reality that you don't necessarily get to make that rule. And if you're that unhappy with it or unprepared to deal with a vaccine, perhaps you should look elsewhere.
Gordon says there will likely be some legal battles and the courts will have to sort that out. There are still a lot of people, as we know, who are unsure about this vaccine, Huel.
Well, Taryn, the vaccine is new, and so are these legal issues. Sounds like there are a lot of layers that still need to be figured out.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, Gordon also said, think about unemployment insurance. If you are fired because you won't get a vaccine, will you still receive your benefits? It's going to be a decision for the Michigan Unemployment Commission. And, you know, I think, like you said, there's a lot more to come.